So for the 6 Gore skirt, we're going to apply invisible zipper. Are you ready? Previously, I did my overlocking on the edge of the center back panels, and my zipper is 8 inches long. I already have the notch, and all of this is on the pattern already. I did 7/8 of an inch, like 1 inch below my notch. I did 7/8 of an inch, and then from that point towards the hem of the skirt, it's 1/2 of an inch seam allowance. So it's a little bit wider on the top, just so you can can hold the zipper. Previously, also I did interfacing on my center back where the zipper is going to be sewn, and the total of the interfacing is 1.5 inches. So I did it all the way from the top of the waist. This is my waist, all the way to like just right below my notch seamed. Alrighty. So on the invisible zipper, I already mark my seam allowance from the zipper stopper to the top. Right, it's 1/2 inch. I have 1/2 inch seam allowance on the top of the skirt. So once you open your zipper, the coils, they wrap around the zipper tape. Right. Let's see. I don't know if you can see them, but I'm pretty sure you have worked with an invisible zipper before. We can press and we make the coils be flat to the tape. It's a choice. You can do it or not, or if not, you can just like work with it with your fingers, and it won't be permanently open, but it will just break the stiffener, or it will break the tape and the coils of the zipper. Alrighty. So there's a few ways how to apply the invisible zipper onto the seam, right? Doesn't matter where the seam is. Could be on the side, could be on the back, could be on the front. It really does not matter. But usually, one of the techniques is to leave the whole seam open, and then once we apply we sew the zipper on, then we can close the rest of the seam. I learned this technique from the Threads magazines. I don't remember the year or the month or who wrote the article, but I liked it, and I think it works well. Alrighty. So what I did, I sewed. Let me find my notch. It's like about 1.5 inches from the notch. Oh, I need an 1.1 inch, but that's how much, like about how much you leave below your notch. Could be 1 inch, could be 2 inches. It really does not matter. Alrighty. So previously I did that too. I sewn. It's already, my center back is already sewn. So now I'm going to sew the invisible zipper on. At this time, I'm using a net fabric. So I'm using a net needle for my sewing machine, and I'm gonna use my invisible zipper foot. Right? It can be done with the regular zipper foot. It just takes a little bit more finessing, but this one is made specially for the invisible zipper. Right, you can see the grooves. Oops, I put my finger in there, but you can see the grooves. So this is the invisible zipper. just going to make the stitches a little longer. Alright, so I'm gonna prepare my fabric, and it's gonna be sewn on the right side, right? So this is kind of tricky because the left of the fabric, at the left of the panel, then is the right of the zipper, the one that sews first, because it's gonna turn under. So I have my marking for my 7/8 of an inch seam allowance here on the top, so that's where I'm gonna start sewing. And I have my marking for my seam allowance on my zipper. So I'm going to match exactly my marking to the edge of the fabric to my 7/8 over here. And I'm going to push it through the grooves. I'm going to open, I need to open this a little bit. I'm going to fold it over. Like I say, it takes a little bit of finessing with this. Alrighty, so that's my 1/2 inch marking, my 7/8 seam allowance. Now open it up, hold my threads. Oh, before that I need to move the settings on my sewing machine. Okay, so I'm going to hold my threads. So I'm securing my stitches. Okay, there it goes. Alrighty. So I'm going to make sure I open up the zipper foot automatically will push the coils on the zipper. Let me move this a little higher because I'm covering it with my hand. Hopefully that will work better. Yes, that will work better. Okay. So then I'm going to continue. I try not to stretch the fabric, so what I'm doing, I'm just like pulling on the zipper a little bit, and then I'm just laying it down again. Then I need to open. I'm letting the machine take the fabric. I'll do the same thing. I pull on the zipper a little bit and then relax it and then sew again. When the presser foot touches the pull of the zipper, that's where I'm going to stop, and I'm going to save my stitch. And before I continue sewing the other side, I'm going to make sure my zipper is going to zip up. Awesome. There it is, and I have the edge. Okay, so cool. So I already did one side, so now it's time to do the other side. So I'm gonna open it up again. So now this is how it's gonna work. So now I'm gonna flip the side that is already sewn. I'm gonna flip it the other way. So now the right panel is gonna take the left, just backwards. You can start on either side. I just like to start with the easier side. That way it's already sewn. I always like to leave the harder part at last. Okay, so here's my 7/8 of an inch seam notch. So I'm going to match my seam notch. I'm going to secure it. Okay, start it. I like to pull it. I like to pull my zipper. Cool. Remember, when you're getting closer to the pull of the zipper, I'm gonna finish my seam. I'm gonna cut my threads. Okay. So now I'm gonna check to see if my zipper is done. Ready. So, and see, I have the opening there. So this is the only amount that we're gonna have to close at the end. Alrighty. So now I'm going to close my zipper. So that's my invisible zipper sewn. And on the top, it's a little bit off. Not bad, just a little bit off. But it will work. You know, I don't have to redo it again. Awesome. So now for the piece that is open, see, this is open. So we're just going to use the regular zipper foot. And if we come this way, we can see where the other seam ends, right? You can see it right there. And then you can see the other seam that it was already done. So I'm just gonna have to match this part right here, and I'm done with the back seam. So now I will change the zipper foot. Change the zipper foot, and I'm gonna stitch from here to here, making sure my under seam is not cut. It's just pretty out of the way. So I need to make sure everything is out of the way. So I'm going to come very close to the where it end my seam. Didn't work. Alrighty, and it will be the same. I'm gonna hold my threads. And I'm gonna start sewing. I'm aiming it to the seam that is already there. I'm gonna finish there. Cut the threads. I'm going to check on the other side. cool. Beautiful. Beautiful. And that's an invisible zipper. Okay, so the last thing we're going to do here, of course we need to press, but we're going to leave the pressing for later. Alrighty, so the last thing that we need to do to secure the zipper end to the seam. And I'm going to change the zipper foot to my regular zipper foot, and I need to secure the tails. You need to do a whole new seam. It's just, you know, something to secure it, making sure none of the fabric is underneath. See, just to secure it. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, and it's just one single layer. So before I sew the whole skirt together, I like to sew my zipper, and I'm going to use the zipper on the center back. Let me put this away. So this is the center back panel for my 6 Gore skirt. So now let's put all the skirt together. Remember, it's easier to sew the zipper when you have single panels, because once you have the whole skirt, it's a little bit harder. It can be done, but this way I don't have to fuss with the rest of the skirt. Ready? So let's start sewing the rest of the skirt.